A couple of weeks ago, I finished watching the Hunger Games movies. And right after I finished them, I wanted to do two things. Read the books. I wanted to do three things. Read the books, watch the prequel, and write my own fantasy story. Because I was so impressed with this world. I loved the setting, the characters, and it was all just so messed up. Like seriously, the first two movies, I cried so much because what? Who comes up with something like that? It is such a messed up concept. And I loved it. I loved it so much that I thought, yes, I want to write a fantasy story. Let's talk about that. So somewhere in here is a notebook. Hold up. There it is. One notebook, I meant 5. Back when I was 11 or 12 years old, I wrote a fantasy story. And obviously it is terrible, because what 11 or 12-year-old actually writes a good story? It was a combination of Harry Potter, Avatar: The Last Airbender, American Dragon, and Greek mythology. These are the weirdest things to combine, but I loved it. It was awesome. In fact, I loved it so much that I couldn't let go of the characters. Actually, 1 or 2 years after I finished the book, which is a solid 30,000 words, I wrote a sequel. And it is even worse than the first because I don't know what it's about. I can't remember. I remember what the first book is about. I just know that some character dies in the sequel. I don't know. Then in 2017, when I was about 18 or 19 years old, I kind of picked up the story again. I had an idea of how to improve on it, and I just came up with a whole different story, no longer inspired by all those things that I mentioned before, and just thought, let's take it in a new direction and make it my own unique fantasy story. Same characters, new concept. I finished 2.5 chapters. That is not a whole book, unless you're Stephen King back in 1970 something. That's a whole different story. However, once again, I could not let go of the characters. And over the years, I came up with a whole world. I came up with so many more characters, even story arcs. But after all this time, there is still so much that I don't know about this world. And after I watched The Hunger Games, I was like, that's brilliant. That is so good. What? I got a little jealous that I did not come up with that. Even though, you know, when it originally released, I was still basically an infant, if not an actual infant. But I was jealous because it was such a good idea. However, that was not the ending for my fantasy story. I did not give up because someone else came up with a really good idea. It inspired me to improve on my story. To take this story that I had, which was very bleak, very dull, very boring, and create a world that was relatable, interesting, fun, messed up, but very intriguing to be a part of. And I still have a bunch of characters that I know are going to die, and a bunch of story arcs, and just overall, I've got some stuff, but I still have so much work to do. Now here's the thing. I really want to write this fantasy story. I have to take some time eventually to flesh it out completely. I know it's more than one book. That much I know already. I know where the story's gonna go, who the antagonists are, who again is going to die. But there's so much that I don't know yet. And usually I'm very much a pantser when it comes to writing. But this one I want to outline basically to a T. Not exactly, but basically. But I also want to write a romance story and a horror story. And these are all very fun ideas that I want to explore, that are not as long and crazy. So I'm not entirely sure what to do, but I'm thinking that I'll figure it out. I have to go and spend hours and hours, days, weeks, months, trying to figure out what exactly this world is, what exactly this story is, and turn it into something that people will love. But mostly one that I will love, one that I will be proud of. If you're curious, and I will be talking about these in a future video, well, that version was a combination of Harry Potter, Avatar: The Last Airbender, American Dragon, and what was the other one? Greek mythology. Good God. The new version that I'm thinking of already, and have written some things down of already, is going to be a combination of Harry Potter, Stranger Things, and The Hunger Games. However, while 11/12-year-old me thought, let's actually combine these things, as in the mechanics of those worlds, the world to some degree, 25-year-old me is going to be combining the feelings, the vibes, the emotion. Whether it's a really cool, mysterious feeling from Stranger Things, a really messed up, scary feeling from The Hunger Games, or a magical feeling from Harry Potter, all that is yet to be figured out. But I am super excited, and once I do start it, I will find a way to capture my progress and to make videos, maybe vlogs or something about it. So do let me know what you think. I am super excited for this project, and I know that it is years away. I am currently working on a book, and there's 2 other things that I want to write, so it might take a little while, but I am very excited for this. So thank you all for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye. Whoa, I gotta stop doing that.